Hello and welcome everyone to the ActiveCampaign Quarterly Product Updates webinar for Q1 of 2022. We're very glad to have you here with us today. I hope you're doing well out there. My name is Ernie. I have the honor of kicking things off here, and some of you may have attended our previous updates webinars in the past. If that's the case, welcome back. But if this is your first time, welcome. I'm excited to introduce this new quarterly webinar format where we're going to highlight the new features or updates to the ActiveCampaign tool that have taken place in the last 3 months. Now, many of these updates have been inspired by our customers and by our users. In fact, we've solved for or implemented updates based on over 300 customer ideas in the last year alone. So please continue to let us know your ideas, your feedback, different ways that we can continue to improve the tool and include updates in our product roadmap to solve for the challenges you face for all verticals, industries, and business sizes. Now, we're going to highlight updates or enhancements in 4 key areas of the platform today. So the first updates we're going to go through make it easier for you to differentiate your brand. They help you to stand out from the competition. Then you're going to see some enhancements to the ways that your sales and your marketing can be tied together. Ways to unify your efforts to help you grow customer relationships. Then we'll get into updates that help you take more control of your data. Updates that make it easier to read your data and easier to understand and then act on that customer information. And then finally, we're going to get into some updates that have to do with you, the ActiveCampaign user. Updates that help you have a more secure experience and a more customizable platform that adapts and performs according to your unique business and information needs. Now, a note here, these aren't the only updates to the platform that have occurred in the last 3 months. For more information on the updates that we highlight here today, as well as information on all of the enhancements, you can check out the ActiveCampaign Product Updates blogs, as well as the Product Updates website page. That will have more information on all things new and improved. All right, without anything further from me, I'm getting out of the way, handing it over to the experts.
Jenny, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to start with a question with you. I know that the landscape of businesses just fundamentally has to have changed in the last couple of years.
Yep.
And so through your perspective, what do you think is the most important thing for businesses to focus on today?
I would definitely say don't operate in a silo. Engage customers across all channels, not just email, not just your website, to really set yourself apart and differentiate yourself from your competitors. There's a lot of traffic out there, a lot of businesses trying to do everything that you're doing, but you are unique. So how are you engaging customers to make yourself unique from your competitors?
Love that. So many different mediums that we can tackle today as a business. And one of the most important ones is email, right? Highest ROI for any digital channel. And so it's incredible that we recently released over 250 templates on our email design.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit more about this?
Of course. Excited about this. With this new batch of email templates, this now provides ActiveCampaign with one of the largest email template libraries out there, which is awesome.
Yeah.
These templates span several use cases, several industries, again, for businesses who are small, medium, large. Anyone can spin up a lovely branded email in a matter of minutes, right? And these templates are fully customizable, can be sent to mobile or desktop emails. Brands can add different fonts, colors, whatever content they need to make it unique to their business.
That's incredible. So you're telling me it doesn't matter if I'm a huge healthcare conglomerate or if I'm a small, maybe individual course creator,
Right.
There's probably going to be a template there for me.
There definitely is, yep.
I love that. that. Well, in addition to email, like we were talking about, so many different mediums matter to our customers, right? And so in addition to email, we know that the website that you have is going to be such an important way for you to keep in touch with your customers. So in that pursuit, I know we made some awesome updates to our pages, to our landing pages feature. Can you tell me a little bit more about the reporting functions that are being updated?
Yes, so this is a very exciting update. Not only have we added in-app metrics for you to track conversions, page views, we completely reinvented the dashboard. So actually taking a step back, the dashboard that you see all of your pages on is brand new as of a few months ago. And this latest step was adding in-app metrics so that you can see an entire view of all your pages and have an objective look into how they're doing.
That's incredible. And this is probably going to optimize the experience that people have on your website because
Yeah.
you really have an understanding of that data.
Yeah, you're really able to dive into a page that is about a specific topic, usually also applying to a specific segment of customers. If it's not performing well, maybe you can adjust your content to better optimize it and better reach that segment of customers.
That's awesome. And in order to actually get access to this data and actually like set it up in the account, is it just there, or do I have
It's
to
automatic.
It's automatic.
You don't have to do anything. Yeah, so it will automatically be configured when you create a net new landing page, and we definitely have help documentation to help answer any questions.
Love that. Love that. It's all at the heart of knowing what's going to work and what's not
Yep.
going to work. So why don't we go ahead and check out what this looks like in app right now.
Awesome.
Now, page metrics are going to be located on the landing page dashboard of your ActiveCampaign account. So I want you to go over to the site icon right here. And then we're going to go ahead and get instant access to all of our landing pages built through ActiveCampaign. Now you can see here's where that new part that Jenny was just talking about is, right? We can go ahead and see the total page views, the conversions, and the conversion rate for each specific page that we have in the account. Now, page views show the total number of page views made, even if they're made by the same visitor. This metric is tracked by default, so you do not need site tracking in order to set up the visits made to your landing page. Now, conversions are going to go ahead and include things like form submissions, right? Whether those are ActiveCampaign forms or using the form block, right? Or they could be button clicks, right? Tracked if you have a clickable call to action button on your page, or link clicks if you have any links on your page. We're going to go ahead and track those conversions here. And then when we see the conversion rate, we're simply going to go ahead and take the visits divided by the conversions. As Jenny said, this is going to give you an incredible look at each individual page that you have built for different purposes across your business to find out what's working and maybe what's not working.
So excited to see some of the improvements to our pages dashboard,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Let's continue because that's not all. That's not all we have because we are releasing a new and improved email designer.
We are.
Right?
Very
That's
exciting stuff. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so the real benefit for this new email designer is that our users are able to build much better emails in much less time, right? So there's some new features around easier formatting, quicker formatting, awesome new tools. So very exciting stuff.
Love that. Tell me though, how is this going to help? Of course, our users are going to benefit from this, but how is it going to help their customers?
Right, so the end customer is also getting a benefit from this with more consistent rendering and just an overall better experience. That the email that the end customer receives is going to be that much better and that much more optimized, so they actually get a better experience, which will improve engagement rates, which is obviously very important.
It's incredible. Well, let's dive into it. Tell me what's changing. What's going on in the email designer?
Yeah, so some of the new features include structures, like I mentioned, for designing the email quicker. We have an option to either build an HTML or drag and drop. Awesome new feature. We have a timer block, which we haven't had before, for a countdown to a sale or anything else you might need. And then we've added even more social icons and emojis, which are always really fun.
Love the emojis
Yes.
in my emails. Love that one. Well, I have a couple questions for you. Number one, how do I get access to this? What do I got to do in my account to get access to this designer?
Right, so the designer is in early access right now, so we have a landing page, which we will definitely share with you all. Go in there, add your information, and you'll be added to a wait list. We are turning on access to customers every single day.
Okay.
So shouldn't be too long of a wait.
Love that. And if I'm using the current builder, will it be affected in any way with the new one coming out?
No, you'll actually have both builders side by side. So if you have existing campaigns or automations in the classic email designer, those will remain, nothing will happen there, and you'll be able to use them side by side.
Love that. And if I want to maybe offer some feedback on what that new designer looks like, how do I do that?
Yeah, so when you are granted access, we will be sending you a form to submit feedback, questions, concerns that you're seeing with the new designer. And all you have to do is shoot them over to us, and we take that feedback and actually improve the builder as we're going, and just to provide a better experience for all users.
Love that. Make sure to submit your feedback. But let's go ahead and take a quick look now at what it looks like inside the email builder.
To access the new designer, you'll need to go through the normal campaign flow of clicking this big blue button at the top that says Create a Campaign. So go ahead and click on that, and then you'll just need to name your campaign and select a list. So let's call this one the test email. Make it a standard email here, and we'll hit Next. And of course, like I said, we'll then go ahead and select the list that we're going to send out to. I'll send this one over to my master list. When you get to the template page, this is where you want to select Start from Scratch right here. We'll be rolling out templates later in the early access program, so for the time being, all emails created by the new designer have to be from scratch. So just go ahead and select early access and hit continue. You can go ahead and type in your email subject line, your from name, from email address, and reply to just as normal. So I'll say test subject line here. Hit continue. Something to note is that the Classic Designer will always remain an option for you as you're in the early access program. Finally, you'll be led over to the new designer. As you can see, it looks a little different, and we've actually added a couple new features, some of which I'll show today. All the email messages in our designer are built using a descending hierarchy of elements. Sections contain structures, and then within those structures are a number of containers. This is where you're going to add your text, images, and more. These are going to make building an email so much easier and consistent for you as a customer. To add a new section, just go ahead and highlight that plus button at the bottom right corner of another section. You can go ahead and hit that, and you see a couple different options. You can set the type, the header, footer, content, info area for each individual section. Now, using different types of sections can be useful for more convenient and detailed styling. For example, you could set the text size or the background color, the font color, the link color for all the sections of the same type, as well as the copy font size for all sections of the same type for mobile formatting. Something to note is that you can have up to 4 containers within a structure, but you can have as many structures in your email as you want. So say I added, 2 containers into a specific structure, and then I wanted to add maybe a 3rd container, right? I could hit this plus button up here that I just hit, added a 3rd container to this structure. And now the coolest part of this is that when I add a new block in, I can easily equalize, I can make all of the widths the same size. The way I'm going to do that is by hitting this equalize button right here, and that'll allow all the widths to stay the same so that you can go ahead and have all of them be of the same size. In addition, I can now hide any element, block, or structure from desktop or mobile. So say I wanted to, only have my mobile users see this specific structure. Well, then all I would need to do is hit this desktop icon right here, and I would thus be hiding this element, be hiding this structure on every single desktop viewing of this email. Now, if I click into one of my images here, the image block feature works similarly to our current image block. Just looks a little bit different. If you want to change an image, I can hit this gear icon right here that'll allow me to open the content manager, and I can change out the image from there. One new feature is our rollover effect. If I go ahead and enable the rollover feature, you can add an image so that when you hover over the image, it changes. This would be an awesome feature to show off new products or introduce employees at a company with a professional image and then a funny image. Next up, diving into the text box, the first thing that I want to highlight is we have emojis. Yes, super exciting. You can poke through all the emojis that you want to put in here and get them into your messages now. Super exciting. You can also change the styling of each individual text blocks. So this one specific that I'm looking at, I could change the font, from Arial to Comic Sans. I can change the size and all that kind of stuff. I can change all of those elements of that individual text box. However, within the Appearance tab, I could change the style of my entire email. So if I wanted to make all of it Helvetica, I could change that right there. Now, a good rule of thumb here, if you do change the style of your entire email through the Appearance tab, it won't change the individual text boxes that you've dictated before. So a general rule of thumb is to go in and change your entire email first through the Appearance, and then go ahead and customize each individual text box if there are things that you want to change up there. With a button, we can go ahead and drop that in here, and of course we can link out to anything we want, from a site to a mail to a file, right, to SMS. And then of course we can now, with a new feature that we have, we can go ahead and add an icon into the button, so we can easily go ahead and select an icon here and have that be part of the button itself. Next up is the videos block. We can go ahead and now inside, when we go ahead and link out to a video, originally you get that thumbnail that comes up as part of the video that you had just dropped in there, whether that was coming from YouTube or Vimeo. You can now add a custom thumbnail, so it doesn't need to come from YouTube. It can be one that you upload yourself here. And of course, the other new feature that we have here, you can adjust the play button that's listed here. So it can be this red one, but we can also turn it into, say, this blue one right here if we wanted. So easily customizable to the way that you want that to look. Next up is social links here. We got a ton of different requests for these, so I'm super excited for you guys to use them. You can now change the stylings of your social icons in this drop down here. So pick the ones that you want, the look that you want. Say I want this one right here. And then of course you can go ahead and, as always, link out to each individual page from here. You can also edit the title that will appear when you go ahead and hover over a particular social icon. The menu block will allow you to go ahead and link out to different parts of your website or create anchor links. You can display links, icons, or icons with links when you can go ahead and click in here and select from this options over here. Finally, last but not least, the Appearance tab, as I mentioned, includes general settings that apply to your entire email. You can adjust your message here, your width. You can apply settings to headers and footers and customize your mobile formatting for the entire email that you're going to send. Lastly, I want to highlight the navigation bar. We now have a revision history where we can click on this and it'll allow you to revert back to an old state of the campaign. It'll show you who made the edits and at what time, and once you click on it, you'll be able to go ahead and restore to that previous version, and you can select it from there. Next up, we have the code button. Now the code button, when selected, will bring up the HTML and CSS. If I have this block selected, it'll show the HTML for that block, and if I don't have a block selected, it'll show the HTML for the entire campaign. Next up, we have our preview option. When we click on the preview button, it'll pull up our client email preview. This allows us again to go ahead and see what this will look like on mobile, as well as what it would look like on our actual desktop builder as well. Lastly, we have the test campaign button, which will allow you to go ahead and instantly send a test out so you can see what that email is going to look like on your own devices itself. So this was a high-level tour of our new designer. We can't wait to hear what you think. There are additional help documents on our website if you have any other questions.
Really exciting new feature sets coming out from our new email designer. If you guys want to check out more, that was just a small snippet from a larger webinar we did about the new designer. So go ahead and register now in the chat. We have the link in the chat to go ahead and register and see the full webinar that we hosted. Finch, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So I wanted to start with a question. It's incredibly important, right, for businesses today to have marketing and sales talk to them, right? And at the heart of that communication is relationship building. So what kind of ways are we at ActiveCampaign starting to help businesses be better at relationship building?
I mean, you're completely right. It is absolutely crucial for marketing and sales to be able to talk to each other. I mean, so many ways. Like, when does marketing know to hand off warm leads to sales? And how does sales know how to create like a nurturing or prospecting series that, is really going to take the conversation to the next level?
Right.
So one of the ways that we're doing that is through sales engagement automation. And one of the tools that we have within that is our one-to-one emails. So the way the one-to-one emails work is you can send automated personal emails through a connected Nihilist account, like Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, basically any email provider that you use. And you can send them as a follow-up to a marketing automation to contacts that are opted in to receive that marketing communications. Or you can also send them as part of a deal-triggered sales sequence as well.
That's amazing. And this probably, like we're saying, helps that alignment between the different teams.
Without a doubt, because, when you can make marketing and your sales more efficient with personal and integrated multi-channel campaigns, they seamlessly span the customer lifecycle, and it's going to go from a lead being, let's say, lukewarm
Right.
to, nice and piping hot.
I love that. And part of that, process of getting leads to become piping hot is making sure that one-on-one communication is so perfect, right? It feels so personal to each individual person.
Right, because when you can insert one-to-one emails into this broader conversation that, is very omni-channel and spans touch points, you're giving your sales teams the right data to make every conversation count. Because when sales doesn't know, for example, what messaging marketing has been sending your leads, that could be a really disjointed conversation. And that's something you really want to avoid, and one-to-one emails help you avoid that.
Absolutely. It's all about capturing the right leads for your company.
And, when you can know your most qualified leads right out of the gates, that lets you confidently take action. And, that can be through multi-touch prospecting. It can be through nurturing cold leads into signing up for a list. So you're actually handing them off to marketing versus the, other way around.
Yeah.
And ultimately, whatever way that you choose to use these, you can boost close rates. And you can do that from data from email, SMS, website, your integrations, basically any of those touch points.
Amazing. All at the heart of sending the right message, right time, right person, right medium.
Exactly.
In that perspective, tell me a little bit more about how this works with automation then.
Okay. Well, first of all, we have a new enhancement that I want to share before we get into that.
Okay.
So now, we're so excited to share this.
Yeah.
Automated one-to-one emails now have engagement tracking.
Oh, wow.
So that means you can know how leads and customers have engaged with your one-to-one emails.
Sure.
And you can use those opens, those link clicks, those replies to trigger an entire new automation. Or reach out personally. It's always important to know when to provide that personal touch. And that lets you stop wasting time and money on the long shots and focus more on those leads or existing customers that have already been interacting with you.
That's amazing. It sounds like it's almost the same level of interactivity and control that users had with campaign emails, with marketing campaigns, but in a one-to-one world. Yeah, I love that. Ultimately building that relationship only further.
Right, but let's talk a little bit about what would be a simple use case.
Sure.
So let's talk about one that does include both marketing and sales.
Yeah.
Like we said, you can definitely use these for, a more traditional kind of sequencing. But let's talk about an expansion opportunity that uses marketing. So if a new customer signs up and gets a welcome email,
right,
or maybe a welcome email drip, multiple campaigns coming through, let's say you wait a month. And if the op has been identified as an expansion opportunity, then they're sent automatically through the automation. You can set this up, a one-to-one email from one of your reps asking for a meeting. And let's say they don't. Well, then they just continue in the marketing stream until they're ready for new outreach. And let's say they are ready for outreach. Well, there you go. Now you have your piping hot lead, and you have the context of the marketing communication that they've already received.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, why don't we go ahead and take a chance to see how this is set up in the account now and dive into ActiveCampaign.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Like Finch mentioned, the real power behind one-to-one email tracking is going to be found in automation. Right? So, for example, if I go over to create a new automation at the top right here, I can go ahead and see I can search for pre-built recipes, pre-built automations that leverage this new feature enhancement of engagement tracking within those one-to-one emails. A great example of this is being able to use the fact that somebody replied to one of your one-to-one emails. Again, this is an email in your Gmail account or your Outlook account. The fact that somebody replied to one of those emails, we can go ahead and make that the reason that you get an email task upon your CRM, in your deals section in your CRM, to go ahead and make sure that you know to reply to that exact email that came your way. You can see here that the trigger revolves around one of your one-to-one emails being replied to. So again, you can use email opens, link clicks, and replies for any of your start triggers from here on out for your one-to-one emails. Wow, what an amazing look at the one-to-one emails. Well, let's go ahead and transition over to the Outlook extension that we're updating.
Let's do that. But first, I have a question for you.
Okay, all right.
So when you get distracted,
Sure.
how long do you think it takes for you to refocus?
Ooh, I'd say a couple minutes at least, right? 2-3 minutes?
Studies say on average, it takes you about 23 minutes
Really?
to get refocused.
23 minutes.
23 minutes.
Wow.
And it's really funny because, there's so many applications that are meant to improve efficiency, but all the toggling back and forth between them, it kind of has the opposite effect,
Yeah.
which is just ridiculous.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember even like being as a sales rep, I'd go back and forth from email to my CRM to email to my CRM all the time.
Exactly. And that is the big reason that we created our really popular extension for our Outlook users.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I know that like the accessibility, right? That was the main thing for me in sales. The accessibility of information as quickly as I can so that I can call people at the right time, email them at the right time, have things relevant for me. How does the Outlook extension help that?
So there's so much that you can do with the Outlook extension. Like you can see all of your CRM info right from your inbox. You can easily add a new contact into your account. You can create and update deals on the go. You can create, assign, and mark tasks and notes complete. You can even view and edit custom fields on contact records, and you can create accounts and associate them to a contact as well. And that's all the existing functionality that our customers really like. But they've been saying that there's something else that they've really been wanting to see, and we listened to them, which is why we're really happy that we have launched one-off emails. So within your Outlook account sent folder, you can add an email's content to a contact's activity feed and email tab right within the CRM, and with just one click. That simple.
Wow. So the accessibility of those one-off emails, it's right there.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. And so is it difficult to set up or is it kind of an instant, just open it up and it's ready to go?
No, it is seriously just like a one-click process. So if you'd like to walk us through it, we can show the people how easy it actually is.
Love it. Let's do it. Adding the ActiveCampaign extension is as easy as going to any email. You go to Get Add-ins and search for ActiveCampaign. Once you get that, you can go ahead and hit that add button, and you instantly have that ActiveCampaign Outlook extension set up for your account. Now, as Finch explained, the access that you have to the ActiveCampaign platform directly from Outlook is immense from this extension, but the specific thing that I want to call out today is going to be this new feature enhancement of saving your email to ActiveCampaign. If I hit this button right here, then I'll be able to see in the contact record that this email is located right here. I'll get the subject line and the contents of the email, when it was sent, and who it was sent to. Yeah, okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'll follow up with you on Thursday. Sorry, I was just closing up a deal of one of my just leads that I was working on. I love using the ActiveCampaign mobile CRM to do this stuff. It's amazing to be able to log your tasks instantly, being able to go in and really manage your deals. The only thing is I never remember to put in my notes.
Yeah, you're not the only one. I mean, come on. Sometimes you're not at your desk when you need to take or make one of those really important phone calls. And if you're away from your computer, once the call ends, you're going to find yourself in a sticky situation a lot of the times. Like, no easy way to give the rest of your team context about what the call was about. Maybe you have disorganized notes, and that takes a lot of time to add into your contact records in the CRM. Or, sometimes details are just simply forgotten by the time you've gotten back to your computer. So that's why we are now introducing mobile call logging.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So what it does is it lets sales reps call a contact directly from the app and then write a summary about the call afterwards. Plus it automatically records some of those important details for you. So all you need to do is select a contact or a deal right from the app, and then you just tap the phone icon to place your call. Pretty, user-friendly there. And then when you're done, a screen will appear with information already pre-populated, like the date, the time, and the call duration. And then when you're done, you even have the ability to add any important notes for yourself or to give the rest of your team context afterwards.
That's incredible. I mean, as a small business owner myself, it's incredibly important for me to have no leads fall through the cracks, and making sure that I can stay on top of the notes that matter to each individual person so I can remember for the next call. Game changer right there. Why don't we go ahead and take a chance to look at what this feature set looks like in action?
Let's do it.
To access ActiveCampaign's new call logging feature, you'll need to download the ActiveCampaign app on either iOS or Android. Go ahead and open up the app, and you're going to be taken to your contacts page. Now, for the feature set to work, you do need a contact or a contact with a deal that has their mobile phone on your contact record. We can go ahead and see that I can open up Sai's contact here, and Sai has a deal underneath him right here. Now, I can either call him from the contact page here, or I can open up the deal that he has as well, and I can go ahead and call him from there. What will happen is I can hit that call button and start a call with Sai here. After finishing up the call, you're going to get an automatic screen that pops up that has the date, the time of the call, the estimated duration of the call, as well as if there's a deal underneath this contact, the name of that deal and the stage that deal is in. You can instantly add your notes here, such as Sai's call was great. He is going to move forward next week. When I hit save at the top right there, this is going to instantly save this as a note underneath the deal that your entire team now has access to when they look upon this deal. Kenzie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. For
Yes.
everyone that I haven't met, I am a member of the platform product marketing team, and I oversee custom objects. I'm super excited to talk to you today about apps that have recently been enhanced with this enterprise level functionality.
Yes. I'm excited to talk to you about it as well. So let's just start off. I know that you want to describe what custom objects are as a whole to people. So why don't we start there? What are custom objects fundamentally?
Super good question. Custom objects is kind of a buzzword in the customer experience automation space. So I think it's important to simplify it a little bit. So as most of you are aware, every ActiveCampaign account comes with standard objects. Those are things like contacts, deals, and accounts. Sometimes you need additional objects outside of that. Let's say you want to pull in information that's specific to your business. You all use tons of tools and services, and it's really nice to have all of that information in one space. So you can import that type of information through custom objects.
Okay, very cool. So when I'm looking at my contact record and when I'm really trying to automate my data, what would be really the reason that I would want to use custom objects over something like maybe the tags or custom fields that exist in my account?
That's a super great question. So yeah, custom tags, as you know, are super great for adding in kind of point in time information, helping you distinguish certain attributes of your contacts a little bit more. But what's great about custom objects is it pulls in all of that data automatically so that you can see a complete kind of 360 view of your relationship with that customer. And it's directly within that contact record. What's also really nice is that it's not only just a comprehensive view, it's a historic view. So you can see every single point in time, whether that's a meeting invite or a support ticket. You'll have kind of that full understanding of the contact. What's also really nice is that you can use that information to extend the power of your CRM by pulling in all of that information that's related to the deal, just so that you're more easily able to get a full understanding of the customer.
Oh, wow. So the visualization and usage of this data, like you're saying, is going to be really, really easy to see down to an individual contact. And it sounds like from what you're saying, I'm going to be able to use that throughout the feature sets of ActiveCampaign and have it touch multiple places in the account.
100%. I'm really glad you brought that up, because I think what's most powerful about custom objects is that you actually can pull this data into automations to create those amazing one-to-one customer experiences. So you can update records, you can trigger workflows around marketing and sales messaging. There's really just so many things that you can do with them that you couldn't previously do without working between multiple tools and systems, now all within one place.
That's amazing. What are some of the apps that actually work directly with custom objects?
Yep, super great question. So like I said, the best part is with these new app enhancements is you don't need to do anything to pull this information. It's all done automatically. And right now, if you use Salesforce, Zendesk Support, or Calendly, you can experience this new functionality right now.
That's incredibly exciting. Well, Kenzie, I know that you want to go ahead and talk about some of these apps. So why don't we start with Calendly, a super popular app with our customer base?
Yep, let's dive right in. So what I love about this set of 3 apps that have been enhanced with custom objects is that it really kind of paints this whole picture of your sales journey and your customer journey, starting out with when they just schedule a meeting with you. So with this new app enhancement, you're going to be able to see all of your meeting data pulled directly into the contact record. So that's going to include the event type, the date and time, status, really every single thing you would need to know about your meeting details with these contacts.
Oh, wow. And relating to what you said before with being able to visualize this in a contract record, like if I see in the example on the slide, like if I'm, if Isabella is one of the contacts in my database, I would be able to see every meeting that we've had together booked through Calendly on her contact record. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yep. That historical context is all going to be right there. And that's where I think the meeting type is also really great because you can get a taste if she's looking for maybe an upsell opportunity. What's also great is you're going to have all this information that you can automatically trigger automations whenever events are updated or created. And so that could be reminder messaging, follow-up messaging to see how a conversation went. And now you'll have a record of all that information. The next time you go to have a conversation with her, you'll be able to check out meeting notes, just giving you all of the context that you would possibly need when you're going to be working with Isabella.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Well, walk me through an example. Like what would this look like in context for a real business?
Yep. So on top of automatically pulling all that information into the contact record, you're now going to actually extend the capability of your CRM, pulling all of the deal related information into view with your CRM. So for example, being able to see that entire history, you're going to see every single email that was sent to her, all the notes that were taken during meetings. And this is going to really help you when you're doing specific outreach. In other words, you're not going to want to send out an upsell opportunity marketing campaign when you're actually meeting with her next week to have that same exact conversation in person where you're more likely to close that deal. So again, just having all of the context so that your sales and your marketing team are always aligned.
Wow. Okay. So the whole customer journey is really, taken care of through custom objects, right? The ability for you to, again, like you're saying, touch automations, thus allows you to touch the CRM just from the mere fact that Isabella booked a meeting with you through Calendly.
100%. Yep. And this integration is a perfect example of how you can use this functionality across the entire platform.
I love that. I love that. Well, let's go ahead and continue on that customer journey, because in addition to the relationship building that Calendly allows you to do, the next step of that is going to be managing that relationship through a CRM like Salesforce. What can you tell me about the Salesforce integration with ActiveCampaign as it relates to custom objects?
Yep. So this enhanced integration with Salesforce is going to add even more value to your CRM data. This is going to let you create or update an opportunity in Salesforce that you can actually even kick off a series of internal alerts, trigger onboarding messaging sequence, send a message to contacts within the opportunity, and so much more. This is truly a really powerful integration.
Absolutely. And of course, the spirit of every CRM is to ensure that no prospects slip through the cracks. And I can see this integration of data really makes that true, really makes that well connected all across the platform here. What's a good example to represent this, a business case for this?
Yep. So let's take a look at this deal with Josh. Okay. So let's say you're trying to close a deal with him. Once an opportunity status is changed, let's say from needs analysis to close one, you can automate a welcome email series to Josh.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. And email in this case is of course a really powerful, medium that we could target Josh with here. But this is, like you're saying, just one of many things we can do because this is all tying back to automation. And like you were saying, this could be notifications. This could be triggering off kind of that email sequence. This could be, changing the sequence with opportunities. Anything that has to do with automation, we could trigger off from here.
Totally. Yeah. This level of powerful automation is really at the heart of customer experience management and automation. This is what's going to enable you to take that lead and turn them into a customer, and then turn that existing customer into a repeat customer by constantly having a pulse on their opportunity status.
Okay. I love that. Why don't we round off this conversation? We talked about how leads are our first, booking meetings with you, and then we're managing that relationship. But once somebody becomes a current customer, one of the best apps you can use to manage that relationship might be Zendesk, because people might have support tickets with you, and you want to make sure that you can go ahead and take care of those. So let's talk about how Zendesk support works with ActiveCampaign now.
Definitely. So the existing integration allows you to sync your ticket and requester data from Zendesk over to your ActiveCampaign account. But what's, I think, most exciting about this enhancement is that you are now going to have that complete historical view. I know we keep saying that, I'm like a broken record, but that's really what's so cool about this, is you're going to be able to see every single support ticket that you've had with the customer, not just the most recent. So I think that's definitely one of the biggest advantages here.
I see. Okay, that's awesome. What's the value of being able to see that historical view, of seeing all those tickets?
Yeah, so think about it. We've all had that experience with support where we're kind of frustrated. We're in the throes of trying to resolve a customer issue, and then I get an annoying sales or marketing email. So what this new functionality and visibility is going to help avoid is that exact scenario. Never again will you be getting a sales call when you're in the middle of a super frustrating situation.
That's fantastic. Happened to me the other day. I bought like a new guitar and instantly was getting, and it hadn't come yet. It was like delayed in shipping. Instantly got more sales emails about how I should buy more guitars.
You gotta give people a second.
You gotta give people a second. I love it. Well, let's look at an example that you have on the screen here. Tell me a little bit more about this example of Isabella.
Definitely. So as you can see, all of the support ticket information is included directly within the contact record. You can see their status, the last update for each of these individual support issues. And this is really painting that clear picture for your experience with Isabella as a customer. And it's going to help inform every single conversation you have with her. For instance, if you don't have any support tickets with Isabella, this, from a marketing automation standpoint, would indicate it's a great time for you to reach out and maybe do that upsell marketing campaign. And then on the opposite end, if you have a dozen tickets open with her, definitely don't bombard her with marketing, but maybe this is an opportunity to involve customer success or support and do some proactive outreach there.
That's awesome. Wow. The power of custom objects is really being felt because it allows you to just capture this data in a way that we haven't been able to before. It's incredible. And I know that we have a ton of new app enhancements, just in addition to the ones we just released right now, so many other applications that we're going to be releasing on here, like DocuSign, I know is one that a lot of our customers use, or Eventbrite. So many to keep a lookout out for. How can we go ahead and, if I'm a customer right now, how will I know what new app enhancements are coming to custom objects?
Yes, we have dozens that are coming this year, all super exciting. And when they're combined together, you can just see how combining all of your tools into one place creates this super unified experience. And it actually just saves you time, where you're not having to operate out of a ton of different systems. So if you want to sign up to receive information about new apps that are coming out, we will drop the link so that you can follow along and get email alerts.
Awesome. We'll drop that in the chat right now. Thank you so much, Kenzie, for walking us through this. We really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and go on a different perspective. I want to talk a little bit about how ActiveCampaign shows trust and customer love through the security of our system,
right? I know that we're actually the only company that guarantees your success to a degree, in which we have our own customer success commitment. And we can drop the link at the chat here so you can see all the different elements of that. But one of those pillars is the trust pillar. And in that trust pillar, we guarantee your security in using the system here at ActiveCampaign. I know we have a new feature that we want to talk about that relates to trust. You want to touch on that one, Finch?
Yes, I'd love to. Yeah, ActiveCampaign takes security very, very seriously, and we take our customers' trust and your customers' trust just as seriously as well. And that's one of the reasons we're really excited to now offer single sign-on to customers on our enterprise plan. So single sign-on lets you automatically log into ActiveCampaign through your existing identity provider without needing a separate set of credentials. And this is great because one of the most common cyber attacks is phishing, where, and all companies of all sizes are really targeted by this, which is an attempt to make individuals reveal personal information like their password, for example, or any other of the credentials that they use to access your tools. So SSO provides a deeper layer of security for your account, and there's also the added benefit that it makes password management a breeze, because you only have to remember that one set of credentials.
Love that.
And yeah, and what makes it even more awesome is it literally only takes a few minutes to set up in your account with your existing identity provider. And we even have made it hybrid, so that means you never have to worry about getting locked out of your account. So you can log in through your identity provider, or you can log in through your existing ActiveCampaign credentials.
That's awesome. Well, I know that you said it only takes a mere matter of minutes to set up. So why don't we go ahead and check out the setup of single sign-on.
Awesome, let's do it.
To access single sign-on, you're going to want to go to that settings tab at the bottom left corner of your account. Once in there, you're going to want to go ahead and find security as one of the last tabs in the sub-navigation. Inside of security, you're going to see a whole lot of settings that you have access to, one of which is single sign-on right here. Find the button on the right-hand side over here and toggle it on. You'll see that a number of boxes have popped up. Now, to use single sign-on, you will need an SAML provider to be the engine behind the single sign-on experience. An application like Okta would be great, right? Or Auth0. We have documentation on how we work with different SAML identity providers, and of course we can work with any ones that are out there in the market. However, we do have documentation for a few that we're going to be posting in the chat right now. We highly encourage you to combine the use of single sign-on with our other security features such as multi-factor authentication and session management to truly make the most secure account that you have.
And that should do it for the Q1 2022 ActiveCampaign Product Updates webinar. Thank you to our wonderful presenters today and the folks behind the scenes that made these updates come to life. Thank you all for your time, and we hope that you're as excited as we are about these new updates and enhancements to the tool. Now, again, if you're looking for more information on any of the updates you saw today, as well as the other updates from ActiveCampaign, you can check out the Product Updates blog, as well as the Product Updates website page. Again, please continue to let us know about your ideas, your feedback, and different ways that you're using the tool, because we're hard at work to create the best tool for you and your business so that you can create the best customer experience for your customers. Stay tuned for more information on more updates, and we'll see you all again in 3 months. Thank you.